Pep Talk UK, Pro Beez, at the Kell Brook, Kid Galahad, media workout, and I'm delighted to be joined by someone else out in Saudi who witnessed the mega fight, Joshua versus Ruiz. Didn't give me his prediction, but either way, we had a two-time world champion, Anthony Joshua. But there's another big fight on the horizon, and I needed that inside expert opinion, and who better but Steve Bunce. How are you, Steve?
Yeah, I'm good. What a trip that was to Saudi, eh? It's really bizarre how great that was. Every single part of it, man. From the weigh-in to every press conference, to the fight itself, to the night, to the rain, to everything. And to the performance, eh? It's really interesting. Only people that didn't go say it was boring. Only people that didn't go say that Joshua was rubbish. Only people that didn't go say that Ruiz should have his money stopped. Those of us that were close witness to it, we saw a different fight to all those millions watching somewhere else. You know what? We can all be proud we made that journey. That pilgrimage, it's the Holy Land, for God's sake. And it was, for one night only, the boxing promised land. I'm convinced of it. Great night, great fight.
Now, 2020 has just started, but inevitably, we've got another big fight on the horizon out in Viva Las Vegas. Deontay Wilder, the Bronze Bomber, takes on the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. I am literally mega excited for this fight in Las Vegas. What's your reaction to this whole fight?
Glad it's done. I thought we'd be talking about this a year ago. Wilder had two defences and two fantastic finishes, made loads of money, barely broke a sweat. And Fury didn't break a sweat. He bled a lot in one fight. He had two outings in Las Vegas. They were brilliant. It raised his profile in America through the roof. I mean, the man is a talk show legend there. People love him. He's recognised, not just because he's whatever he is, 6'11", 6'12", take your pick. Not just because he's got the suits on and he does karaoke. People recognise him. They like what they saw in those fights. So now we get this fight, and it is bigger now than it would have been in May of last year. And it was a big fight then. I'm just delighted it's happening, because right now it's the biggest fight of 2020. It's the biggest fight of this decade so far. And you know what? Had we had that last year with the two Joshua fights, the defeat and then the victory, and then, of course, if Fury had fought Wilder in May and if Fury were to win, then they could have fought each other again in October. I hate to say it, but you feel like maybe you got cheated last year. Let's not get cheated this year. Let's get them in two fights. Why not?
Now, it's interesting. You talk about Deontay Wilder, how his profile's been built up in the right way to set him up for these mega fights. Out in the States, Mike Tyson says that Deontay Wilder, he hasn't fought anybody. What do you make of those comments?
Well, you know what? It's easy for Mike to say that, because Mike, when he was at his peak, just had this incredible list of really big names for him to knock over. Guys that hadn't had their heart in boxing for years and years and years and years. I think it's a little bit harsh of Mike Tyson, if I might say so, to say he hasn't fought anybody. For a start, he nearly beat Tyson Fury last year. Okay, I thought Tyson Fury won on the night, but it was a draw. For a start, he's finished some fights with one single proper punch. Proper punches. Not after 10 punches, not after 9 rounds of bashing someone up. One punch, literally, as in the Ortiz rematch, from nowhere. He's beaten everybody that's been put in front of him. And have they been the best? Well, no, because he hasn't fought Joshua and he hasn't beaten Fury. But he's done nothing wrong, Wilder. I think a lot of people are harsh on Wilder. I'm talking to people here that think he's got no footwork. I'm talking to people here that think he does everything by chance. And I'm telling them to go away, look at the knockdown of Tyson Fury in that 12th round, and look how even 20 seconds before it happens, how he sets his feet to throw the same two punches. So if he's got no footwork, and if he does everything by chance, why are his feet perfect for that shot? You know, it's a really simple thing with modern technology. So in the 70s and the 80s, you could talk about any fight that had happened beforehand, and the person you were talking to had no way of ever correcting you. So if you told him something about a Muhammad Ali fight, there was no way he could ever prove you a liar. Because in 1981, how did you go and get a copy of a listing against Ali? How did you go and get a copy? You didn't. You wrote off somewhere, maybe you could buy a VHS, maybe, probably couldn't. Or you went and bought a Super 8, ordered it from America. Whereas now, If I say to people, go and watch the last round of Wilder and Fury and watch it from all angles and tell me that Wilder's got no feet. Look where his feet are, they're perfect. Tell me Wilder just throws his punch haphazardly and those feet and those punches are perfect. It's kind of in Wilder's favour that people continue to treat him like some kind of boxing buffoon. I know one man who doesn't treat him like a boxing buffoon, and that's Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury is a purist. Tyson Fury is a boxing man at heart, as he says, a fighting man. And he knows when the man opposite him has got good feet. He knows when the man opposite him is throwing proper shots. Trust me. The rest of the people can just continue with this fantasy that Wilder doesn't know what he's doing when he gets in a ring, because it is a fantasy. He's a smart fighter. Don't worry about that. That's what makes it so interesting. So I'm a little bit not disappointed in Mike Tyson, because you can't be disappointed in Mike Tyson. I just think, wait for it, he's wrong. You know, we're a business of opinions, for God's sake. And his opinion on this particular occasion is not right.
Tyson Fury, he's made a change to the backroom staff. He's brought in Sugar Hill Stewart at such a late stage. Is this going to affect the outcome come February the 22nd?
Well, I hope it affects the outcome. Because if you get rid of, or if Ben Davison walks, or you get rid of Ben Davison and you pull in a new guy, and then you lose the fight, then that might be considered a backward step, because a draw is better than a loss. A draw's not as good as a win. So if you win the fight, then it's progress. Or if you were to lose, but you see different things that you might be able to capitalise on next time out, perhaps. I don't know. Hey, listen, it's happened. Ben's gone, and he was a critical part of saving Tyson Fury's life. Now there's a new guy in charge. Let's hope he can do it. You know, it's not my job to make outrageous and outlandish comments and statements. They're all big boys. They know what they're doing. They seem like they're all talking to each other. Let's hope they get on with it. Let's hope that the new man can put something in Tyson, can give him just that something a little bit extra and get him the world title. And if he can't, let's hope they all hold their hands up and maybe move on and change things back. Who knows?
If it doesn't happen, Tyson Fury's got WrestleMania just like a month or two after.
Listen, if it does happen, he's still got WrestleMania. What are you talking about? He's got WrestleMania, and then he's going to start telling us again how he wants to be in the UFC. It's great fun, you know? I mean, when was the last time Tyson Fury didn't entertain you? Even when he was at the depths of despair, going through all of his mental anguish, he was entertaining us. And by entertaining, I mean giving us copy, making us talk about him. You know, the man's been a walking circus and carnival for a long, long time. He's just been giving and giving and giving. So whether it's in a boxing ring, whether it's in a psychiatric unit, or whether it's in a wrestling ring, he's going to be news, you know. Boxing keeps him sane. He talks about that. And for boxing, it doesn't just mean boxing. He means something that takes up so much of his life. That means he's got to be in a gym 7 days a week. The gymnasium and the training is part of his rehab. So whether it's wrestling, I was a big supporter of that wrestling outing, because I knew that how hard he was training in the WW, whatever it's called, training camp in Florida. I knew how hard he was training, man. And that was every day of the week, because you don't become a wrestler overnight. He was putting the hours in. And so he needs that to keep him out of those darkest of places, keep him away from any medical units, keep him safe from the prying eyes of doctors. Because if he's boxing, he's sane. And if he's sane, he's a lovely man, isn't he?
Steve Bunce, it's been a pleasure. I would like to wish you a happy new year.